Oh, Lord Jesus. Please don't start messing up. Sound check. Sound check. I apologize to whoever views this video. I can't get the volume to go up. I will try to speak louder. Um, but any other speaker form I use, uh, it has some type of strange distortion with it. I don't know how to get rid of them. Anywho, welcome to Swanky Foil Hatter. My name is Nancy, and today I'm here to kind of review some of the videos I've made in the past that covered the subject of aliens, as well as to uh, talk about some of the dreams I've had, as well as the clues I have received personally received that aliens may very well invade planet Earth. Is it possible? I don't know. Um, that's what I'm going to try to do in just a moment. I hate taking a long time to get to the subject matter, but I don't know how to navigate YouTube any better than I have come to know. For some reason, I'm not mastering it. I don't know. What am I attempting to get to? I am attempting to get to that, I think. Um, I'm going here. Let's see. Okay. I think I want to go here. I do. I do. I'll do this. I'll do that. Okay, come back here. And open up the broadcast. Open up the broadcaster. Okay. Today is, for the record, it's January 16th, 2025. And one of the topics that's trending is about a lot of drones. Like the topic that's trending is unidentified um, spacecraft in the air. Whether those spacecraft have been, tried to identify as drones, or if it's not drones, they have found orbs. Oh, I should have pulled that video up where the orb came in the yard some years back. Um, or I mean, people just been uh, having a lot of experiences, from booming sounds in the air, orbs flying around, drones flying around, very spacecraft, shape shifting spacecraft flying around, and I think it's really concerning people. Um, I think it's all over the world actually, but I know definitely here in the United States, the happenings do not shock me because I have quite frequently had those type of experiences. So, and I've talked about most of them here on um, YouTube. I just didn't really dive deep into uh, my belief that aliens exist and are in our atmosphere because it's considered a little strange. Uh, and so my channel initially, in the first phase, was about tarot reading and reading the future and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't want to scare people off. But I did. I shared the events that I personally experienced. And so it's a couple I really want to focus on tonight. And so I'm going to try to do this in under an hour. Y'all know, again, I'm long winded. And so the question is, where is it at? Over here? It says alien invasion, alien invasion coming soon. Hmm. Let's see. Have we had any uh, clues to answer this question? Have the powers um, given us any heads up that this might just happen? And I personally believe that they have. My first example here is, I hope I can use this legally. Let me say this: YouTube, this image of the Roku screensaver is merely for entertainment, a little bit educational, a little bit, et cetera, et cetera. I don't own the rights to none of this YouTube. Okay. So, anywho, here is my first. I don't think I meant to shrink the page. That's what I meant to do. Ah, let's see. I shrink the page so I can see if anybody writing. Let's see. Oh no, don't mess up on me. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think I got it now. I think. So you all probably are familiar with this screensaver, the screenshot of the Roku uh, that's found on your Roku TV. I think it's a smart TV, and it usually moves along. So what I want to do is just take a look at it because the question is, are we about to have an alien invasion or are we being invaded by aliens? Do aliens exist? Have we received the heads up from the powers that this would happen? Well, based on this Roku screensaver or 2024 screensaver, it suggests that they might have given us some clues that it just might. Let's take a look at it. As you can see, I have a magnifying glass right here. And if we move over from left to right, one of the first things we see is a spacecraft with a beam or a ray uh, that is, I don't know, lighting up something look like a clock tower or something. And I find this image really interesting because some of the reports I've seen, like on TikTok, and people that have do those videos that do reaction videos, people are showing images of that, of just that, of some type of beam or light or laser coming from the sky down to the earth. I do want to talk about this ship here, but not right now. I want to keep on looking at the image, moving left to right, and focus on that which is really appearing in our reality here in 2025. Now, this is again, this is Roko's 2024 screensaver. Okay, let's move over. Over here, again, we see some type of flying object hovering over a mountain that's on fire, like the hills are on fire. I find this image so interesting because if you look, I think it's at Roku, however you pronounce it, 2022 screensaver, it has the Hollywood sign around here. I could be reaching, I don't know, but I think they've given us clues and have been telling us that they have staged or there will be or they were anticipating alien invasion. And so you can see that again, it's some type little thing like again, looks like little drones that people are reporting all over the country, all over the world, actually. And then the fire is associated with it. I'm going to back up because I just noticed it's a little something flying here in the air as well. And another thing I like you to pay attention to is that this Roku screensaver shows a night scene. Everything seems to be happening at nighttime for the most part. And I say for the most part, because when the orb came in my yard about 5 or 6 years ago when I was outside doing videos, I wonder if I might be able to find that. It was during the broad daylight summer. It was interesting. And then I also saw the cigar. I don't know if y'all have heard about the cigar shaped uh, spacecraft, unidentified spacecraft. I've seen that, and it was broad daylight. Hmm. And a few other things. Anywho, let's keep going. So we got this uh, spacecraft with the laser beaming down. We have this kind of drone thing and the fire coming out the mountain or something. We go over here. It looks like just a blimp, maybe here. But over here, look at this. I want you to keep this robotic, uh, like Kong, what's it? Kong, not Kung Fu. What's his name is? King Kong robot. I want you to keep them him in mind because I'm going to talk about something I personally witnessed um, that kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Corresponds with this fierce giant robot. Looks like he's terrorizing the town. That's why I say use the parallel of Godzilla, not Godzilla, King Kong. King Kong. Okay. I always thought that these Roku, whatever, screensavers were real interesting, especially this one. Especially this one. Here, it looks like on top of a building is a globe or something. And another thing that I noticed about this particular screensaver is that it has a lot of orbs in it. You know, people have been reporting orbs. And it's also these northern lights that they chose to put in this screensaver. And I find that as to be an interesting choice because the northern lights have been reported to be able to be, viewed from uh, perspectives that historically the northern lights was not viewable, and so that is here as well. Another thing is here. We definitely are going to talk about this image right here in the back. What's that back there? I can't see. It looked like a little. Let me show you what I'm trying to talk about. I'm gonna shrink it up. I'm trying to shrink my magnifying glass up, y'all, and move it right here. It almost looks like the Statue of Liberty to me, right in here. And the reason I say that because it's this one little beacon light at the top. It sure enough seems, but it seems like it's falling over. I just noticed that. But anyway, let me expand my magnifying glass over the next image. I want to. Hold on, y'all. I seen something else. I seen something else. I'm pointing out these things that I had noticed. What is this little critter up in here? You see that little critter down in here, in between the stack houses, the pipes. Now, as I was preparing to do this live stream, I was watching somebody's YouTube channel, and they were doing, I guess, a reaction video, and they were watching um, people's testimony about the various experiences they are having now, right? And this one woman was talking about she was in the bed under the covers, shaking, and saying that something was like hitting the top of their house, and how the neighbor's house, a senior, I believe, house got hit first, and her husband went out to check the surroundings and everything, and they couldn't find out what it was. But it was something that was landing or running into their houses and making these big booms or something. And now I just watched that 20 minutes ago, again, right before I started this video. And it's interesting to me how it's this little critter up here on this roof. I just noticed it. But okay. I'm gonna keep it moving. And I'm gonna come over here to this dragon. It looks like a dragon. This is another image I want you to keep um, in the forefront of your mind for when I move to, I think, the next slide, because this dragon is an image that I saw during another experience in my life, and it has to do with aliens invading planet Earth. It based on the experiences I've had, it seems like if Earth is to be invaded or is being invaded, it's not just by one particular species or entity. Okay. So this dragon is interesting. And I've heard people say that they spotted dragons flying through the air. So, okay, y'all. Okay. So, okay. Um, let's see. Oh, speak of Godzilla. Speak of Godzilla. They got them over here. They have them over here. It look. I don't know if y'all can see the little figure hanging off the top of the building. Again, the reason why I'm using this Roku screensaver uh, to to kind of explore if the powers warned us that there might be an alien invasion here on the planet Earth is because it has so many images that suggest or that reflect what's going on at this point in time in our history. And that is people seeing drones, unidentified other unidentified flying objects, orbs, and all kinds of stuff. And I just found it interesting that the images that they chose to create the screensaver were chosen out of anything else they could possibly have chosen. I don't even know if that came out right. But anyway, before I move on, I want to take a look at these ships that are shown in harbors. Now, a couple of years back, I had a dream. I don't know if I shared this particular dream on YouTube or not. However, the dream was about, it was so weird. I just remember being on a personal yacht, so it's a smaller yacht or I'm gonna say a cruiser, some type of boat, that a family could go off on vacation in. And I remember trying to go below deck and seal the deck, the lower part off. Of course, I'm dreaming, so everything was wonky, and I wasn't able to successfully seal, the lower deck, like with a door and a lock. I'm up here, what do they call it? Snapping buttons. Like that wasn't going to help. And I was trying to go down below deck and secure the boat because I was going through this very narrow canal. About a week ago, I saw something that made me remember this dream. It was, I don't know what I was watching, but I think it was a documentary or something, and it was talking about a canal. What was the name of the canal? In our real time, real life, it's a famous canal, and I can't think of the name of it now. But when I saw it, I was like in awe or shock because I was like, that's the canal I saw in my dream. In my dream, as Me and the other people, including Kevin Hart, was on this boat trying to squeeze through this canal. We were trying to squeeze through this. God, what's the name of the canal? And it was so tight. It was so many boats and ships and everything. It was cargo ships, oil tankers, little boats like the one we were on, even little smaller boats, platoons, rowboats, little just people trying to get through. What the heck is the name of that canal? Mm. And it's on the tip of my tongue. Don't worry the mess out of me. Anywho, we were trying to get out of there, out of this canal because going over us, it was a bunch of stuff blowing up and bombs. It was like somebody, like some a war or something had broken out, and we would just if we could just make it to the main water. And I didn't think much about that dream anymore, other than it was weird. And I woke up with my heart racing so fast because it was just so many boats and it was so many bombs and it was nighttime going off over our head like rockets and stuff. It was people were jumping from the trying to jump from the side or not the shore. It was oh goodness, I can't remember that thing. This canal. They were trying to jump over into boats and stuff. The canal was so congested that the boats were riding, uh, I'm sure, unsafely. They weren't, they were too close to the this edge, and so people trying to jump over on any boat they could jump on over because it was fires all on the land and everything. So it was absolutely crazy. And so when Roku first came out with the screensaver, when I was looking at it, these boats and them being destroyed and things like that really really kind of disturbed me. Okay, it disturbed me. And again now, and now that are taking place the way they are in our real time life, from the fires in California and um, drones flying everywhere and the light beams coming from the heavens or some type of spacecraft descending upon the earth, just all these things. And again, this one for real, the um the northern lights coming up with different spectrums than it normally has, traditionally has, and being able to be viewed from perspectives that normally it has not been able to, is concerning to me. And I think it is a clue from the powers that they are anticipating some type of invasion or they're planning an invasion. Okay, I'm about to go to the next evidence. Here's the next evidence. That's a little hard. As you can see, this is an example of US dollar. I did a video. I want to go here for a minute. Hold on, y'all. Let's see. Can I make this happen? Will it come up? It is. What you're seeing here is my YouTube page, Swanky Foil Hatter. And this video that I have um, uh, on the front page is a video I would like you to watch. And why is that? It is because I have a lot of information in this video. I did it 5 years ago, and that was the second time I talked about it. So it had to be about 6 or 7 years ago when I had the experience I'm about to talk about. But if you have a chance, please go watch this particular video. Okay? All right. Now, what I shared in that video was talking about my experience with the US dollar bill, the back of it. And I want to revisit that my experience because again the question is, did the powers tell us, have they been warning us that there's going to be an alien invasion, or that they're planning one? And I kind of think yes, and here's another reason why. One day, well, I had been watching videos that talked about how you can fold like legal documents, dollar bills, and things like that, and see various images that predicted or, you know, foreshowed such events as 9/11 or flooding in New York and different things like that. So one day I was bored and I started messing around trying to fold the dollars and the fives, and I couldn't get anything. But I kept going on messing around and I stuck it to the window, my front window, and my window faced east. And it was like the optimal at that moment. It was meant for me to see it. It was the optimal moment, the way the sun came through that dollar. And I'm looking at it and I got down on the floor. Why? I don't know. I just did. I got down on the floor, crooked my neck back, and Lord and behold, the, the US dollar, I'm sure all of the bills are watermarked. And I thought I knew what a watermark meant, but I did not. So I'm about to show you some of what I saw once I was able to view the watermark that did have information that suggests that an alien invasion is coming or is planned to take place. So, let's see what the first thing I saw. Uh, this here, this here. Yes, this is Jesus Christ, the image of Jesus Christ in his passion. And I don't know if you know or not, in his passion mean after he got uh tortured and and a crown of thorns was, placed on his head and he just, been beat half to death. This was the first image I saw. So imagine me, the dollar stuck to the window, the sun is coming through at the optimal angle with the optimal intensity that it triggered. Oh, did it freeze? The watermark to rise up, and just like magic, this rolls up like a 3D image, rolls up off of the paper backing. And now the image of Christ wasn't turned to the side. It wasn't the profile. It was straightforward. The crown was on his head and everything. And so, I'm like in awe when I saw. I was like, what the hell? Because I never thought I would see anything like that. And again, that video I was showing y'all, I talked about it in that video, and I've talked about it at another time on my channel. Blew my mind. And so after I saw that, my eye started moving across the bill. And when I started seeing all these images, of course, now my eyes are going all over the place. I'm excited. What do you call it when you uh hyperventilating, like, you know, and so I'm just in shock. So here is a couple of the other images I saw. Okay, I did that right. It should be it. I, oh, I can slide it. Hold on, y'all. The next one is my computer might be starting to mess up. Maybe it was this man in the forefront. Oh, do I got my? Okay, here my magnifying glass. I cropped some examples and uh took some PNGs to show you what I saw, just examples. It was this man down up in here somewhere, and he was laying on the ground like this, and over him, is the wrong one? Oh, yeah, wrong one. I get all the way down. Hold on. Over him was this tall angel, but it was a masculine angel, and the man was small, and the angel was real big. Like when you hear the archangels and Michael, it was like real tall and big, and he had the sword back, drew about to slay the man, and the man laying on the ground, back his back on some rocks. Now, mind you, I'm looking at the back of US $1 bill. It's in the windows. I just stuck it in the window. The sunshine outside is optimal, hitting it right. I didn't expect it. I'm on the floor looking at it from an angle, and all of these images are standing up off the page, and it's so crazy. I've tried, and I've tried since then to get it to happen again, and I cannot. I can't make the perfect conditions. I can't create the perfect conditions to get it to happen again. Um, and so I can't even express how crystal clear it was. Not my imagination. It was not me just interjecting anything. No, it stood up, these images and more, and announced themselves. The Especially the Christ. And to this day, I've been trying to understand why the Christ was there. And as you see, I this image I have here display of the dollar, I broke it up in three parts intentionally and positioned them the way I have intentionally because that is how the the imagery was depicted or situated. It's as if there it was a plank or I don't know what you call it, but it like something that opens and shut like a how project board. That's how it was. So the Christ had his own space. He had that was his panel, and in that circle part, I don't know what I'm doing. In this circle part, that's where he was and that's where he came up from. It's like it jumped out, like when you go to a 3D movie or something, and boom, it was just crazy. And then this was absolutely this image with the tall angel about to slay the man that was leaning back on the rocks. The reason why I started going in detail about, or trying to go into detail about how uh, dimensional the images were and are, because I'm sure they're still there on every dollar, is because even the man was leaning back on rocks. You can see the rocks under his back, and like he had fallen over rocks and was trying to pull himself up. And the angel again is about to slay him. And like I said, the angel was real tall in comparison and real big. And I bring that up because it was like different entities or angels. That angel obviously was against humanity, the one I'm talking about that I got an example of here, against humanity because he's about to slay him. Okay, moving on. I don't want to take a long time. Just trying to see, explore if it's possible that uh, lock him in. Did the powers inform us indirectly that a space invasion was going to happen, and they've been doing it our whole existence, our whole lives. You know, we just didn't know how to pick up on the clues, or are we picking up on them? Supposed to pick up on them subconsciously because they're subliminal. Who knew this was on or is on a dollar bill? Now I just moved that angel because he wasn't there. He was here flying in. It was angels all over the place, flying in. Again, they rose off, became dimensional or whatever you call it, flying in, and it was again a story. You could tell it was a story. So, where's the this side in art? You have the forefront, the you got the mid, and you got the background, and then there's a focal point. And so, like I got the dollar bill again in these parts because that's how it was. It's like this side pushes you into this scene, and the Christ just stands out. But after you get through with the Christ, it puts you in this scene in the middle. Okay, so this angel was flying in, and there were other angels throughout the bill. And the angels, you could, I bring it up because how do you know if an angel is mm, bad or good, or malevolent, or benevolent? The energy backing the story associated with the images let me know, like, this particular angel, I got the magnifying glass, was another bad one coming in. It was a lot of bad entities that came in, and they weren't all angels. So I'm going, oh Lord, they about to boot me off again. Don't do it. Don't do it. Your recording has stopped. Please check. Oh my God. Did it stop? I'm going to just keep going and see. Oh my goodness. They just dogged me. Let's see. What did I do? Oh, that's my main fact. Oh, okay, move this over here. Am I still on? Okay. Now, I'm gonna go back here. I hope I'm still on. You see that dinosaur? Okay. Dinosaur here. We have, come on, thing. We have this robot here. We got something like Godzilla hanging on the building, or King Kong hanging on the building. And I go back and refer to that Roku image, because it shows these dragons and things, which lines up with what I saw like 6, 7 years ago when I viewed the dollar bill in the window. That's why I want you to go look at that video on my home page, because back then it's stamped 5 years ago is when I did that or referred to my experience. Now, that ain't the first time I referred to it, or talked about it, but that was one of the times. It's already there on my page. It's already got a timestamp that you go hear me talk about this experience. I talk about it a lot because it blew my mind. Still blows my mind. But there was, yeah, a dinosaur or dinosaurs on there. And I chose this dinosaur because this was the primary one. Now, this angel attacking this human being was in the very forefront. And a little bit back was the dinosaur. And it was more, but this was the one that was like kind of right behind it. Anyway, this dinosaur, now mind you, where this I got this dinosaur kind of positioned at on this example of the dollar. The dinosaur was facing the way you see it, and it was chasing a bunch of people, like chasing them down. And not only were people running like in front of this dinosaur trying to get away, there were people that was already trampled behind them. It was people running in the opposite direction because it was dinosaurs or creatures chasing them in the opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? Why am I talking about this? Because this suggests to me, if it's on a dollar bill as a watermark, that's relevant. Why would they put such imagery and have it be the watermark on the back of a US dollar bill? It has to be relevant. That says something to me. And it says something to me that the imagery that they have consciously selected to put on a Roku screensaver says something. And it has a lot um, of the some I have some of the same imagery. Is what I'm saying, between the Roku and the back of this dollar. It's the same imagery. Okay, going on. Short video. Yep. God dang it. Let's see. Ah, there are various entities. Mm, yeah, there's various entities on a dollar. Okay. On this plank, I guess that would be the left plank of the dollar, where you see I just put the angel. Where's my magnifying glass? Over here. Every entity was not malevolent or attacking or trying to destroy or hurt mankind. Again, remember the way it was set up, it tells a story, and you, as you read the story, you can feel the energy off of the images and how they relate to each other. Anywho, this particular angel, now this ain't the actual angel, y'all. These are just examples of what I saw with my own two eyes about 6, 7 years ago when I was at dollar stuck to the window and it was optimal sun was coming through there and I saw the watermark. Okay. It was this angel that was coming in and you would get I got this what is it called? I got this understanding that this angel was not coming to harm, but to help mankind. It's interesting. Boo, just blew my mind. Just after all, blew my mind. What blew my mind just now? I'm like, Christ. Why is the Christ there? I'm still tripping on that. And how elaborate it was. Look at the back of the dollar bill. It has like the seal on it. Oh man, let me see if I move him. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna show y'all something. Wish I could really show you something. Take this. This seal right here. I BS you not. That is the crown, the crown of thorns on the Christ head, and he's facing frontwards, and it come off, and he all bloody like this image. That's why I got this one, all bloody like the image. You don't even see no red here, but the mother sucker when it came up was bloody. You could see the thorns on the crown. Y'all, let me finish because there might have been a booty off. I don't even know. And I hope you can hear me because something wrong with the microphone. This was a crappy camera. I'm gonna get a new one. But anyway, this right here was what is the crown of thorns upon Christ's head. And what just blew my mind at this moment is when I was talking about the angel over here and how it depicts uh, assistance coming to help mankind. It's a war. Whole point is the whole thing was about this war, this white war in heaven and on earth. That's what it suggested. And it was crazy again because it was so many things, different images, and it was just people running. You get the sense they were running and screaming, they were terrified. This shit was being, excuse me, I didn't make it, was being destroyed everywhere you turned on here. And it was angels flying in. It was malevolent angels that just I can feel like the hate coming off of some of these beings. And then this one in particular, because it was more in the forefront, literally coming from this side, like here. I guess I locked that. Let me see, I might have locked it. Need to lock it. Mm. I don't know. Maybe I locked it and it won't move. Oh, there's moving. Coming in from here to save, to aid, to help, to fight, to go to war with these benevolent beings. It was crazy. And I always wondered, like, what am I looking at? That's something wild to see. Is it gonna let me do it? Okay. That's something wild to see. Um, and now, with everything that's going on, uh, I do believe that they already, when I say they, I'm talking about the powers, already knew that Earth was going to be invaded. I really believe they already knew it. I think based on everything I have had my hands in, as far as reading astrology, everything, every study I ever had, I believe there are various species and entities that exist in existence, not just on this planet, just in existence throughout the whole galaxy and whatever else is out there. And just like we have on our physical world, we have treaties with different nations. I think that there may have been some type of treaty or intergalactic treaty that has either ended or somebody um, reneged on it or something. And I do um, think that there is a war starting, but intergalactic war, interspecies war, and I think that mankind, for the most part, we just don't know what's going on. And I say that because I've also had a dream I've talked about here on YouTube, in which I was in a storefront and I went to walk out the door. And at the end of the block, like a two-sided main avenue, at the end of a block was an angel as tall as a skyscraper. And it was glowing like gold, yellowish glow. And everybody was like, when I saw it, I went back into the establishment and closed the door, like, ooh, something told me, don't go out there. And but everybody at when it appeared, everybody was like just struck with awe and was staring at it. And so I go back in the establishment and I'm saying, hey, we can't go out there. Something going on. And some people that were in the establishment left out, others stayed. And then all of a sudden, I'm just kind of summarizing the dream. A big radiating, intense light pierced through the like under the crack of the door, through the blinds and stuff. And what that energy did, whatever that angel represented in my dream, it was so intense that it blinded everybody that had their eyes on it. That's so interesting to me. And I bring that dream up, and I have no idea where that dream came from. But I remember us, everybody else was staying locked in, and anybody that went out directly after it happened also became blind. That dream has stuck with me as well because I have seen, this has been a couple of things. I've seen in reality, like changes to the the sun or the light that is given off by the sun, and it changes the what do I say atmospheric light. Just the everyday light when you walk out, where the sky might be orange or that goldish yellow, not just in the sky, just but it puts this hue or this filter over everything around. And so I've had multiple dreams about that before my whole point before it even happened, and then it ends up happening. And so I'm at this point like, okay, well, if that's the case, then whatever my dreams mean suggest that that too is coming. And I say that because I had another dream that had to do with like light energy or uh I don't know what to call it, where the sky was an unusual color or had an unusual filter that colored the environment. Like you wish, like the sun be normally in the old world, the sun was bright and yellow, but everything wasn't yellow, you know? Or the sun could be intensely white, but everything wasn't like the brightness of everything that just increased. It was just light outside. Now, when these colors uh come, they are like a filter. Like I can do filtering here, right here, right now. I can do filtering. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's see. Is this? Oh, I might be on the wrong one. I might be on the wrong one. I just there. See that filter? Hey, let's see what happens. I gotta let it catch up. How long have I been on here? Okay, be off in a few minutes. A few minutes. I was trying to see if another filter had come over. I guess not. Maybe this one will do it. I didn't even know what number that was on. Okay, you see that? The image of me on the screen, how I changed the U, that's what the sun in our real time reality is doing. Sometimes I have seen oranges color and the U over the whole area change is like a filter over everything. It has this oranges color or this purple color or whatever. I had never ever experienced that in my whole life until the last few years. And I bring that up because let's see. I bring that up because another dream I had some years back. This is before it's really started happening in our reality. I had this dream that I walked outside my house, back of my house faces west. And in the western sky, so it's evening. I'll say it like that. Because the sun goes down in the east. I mean, west. Rise in the east, sets in the west. So it was in the evening and the sun was about to set in the west. So we're talking about maybe about summertime. It's my dream. About 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I walk out the door. So I'm walking out facing east. And as I turn and walk down to my corner, which reveals the western sky overall, as I'm walking out, I'm like, it's a strange color. Why is the whole of everything? I'm gonna say it was like a hazy orange. What is this? What is this? And it's a bus stop on my corner. So I'm walking up to the bus stop to get to my daughters or something in my dream. And I happened to look over in the sky and there were like, I guess, tiers of clouds. Everything again is this oranges hue, everything tinted. And I've seen this in reality uh since then in different hues. And all of a sudden, I like out of the higher tier of the clouds, like I can say an angel came riding down, several of them on like chariots, and they descended like from the top tier cloud to the next level, like they was rallying, getting ready to ride. And I was like, oh my god! And and it's crazy because again, I haven't in reality seen these uh angels or whatever they were riding in the chariots in reality. But the color hues that went with that dream that I had never seen before, I have seen. I have seen the clouds as well. And that's freaky to me because when I see it, whenever it happens, I literally stand there and look because of the dream I had. I'm expecting something to ride out the clouds because of the dream. Anyway, I came running back in the house. Uh, People started hiding. Could you imagine these big, huge entities or angels without wings? They didn't have wings. They look like gladiators riding holy chariots or something, coming out of just like out of a portal and just coming into our reality and landing on our clouds. And they look was intense. They were ready to battle. And that dream disturbed me so that I remember just going back in the house and I woke myself up. I woke myself up because it was crazy. Um, And then it was one other thing that, oh, something else. The question is there an alien invasion coming soon? I want to review back uh, on another story I told here on YouTube many years ago because it actually happened to me many years ago. I think it was in 1996 when this happened. I stay in Detroit, and one day, oh, a stay-at-home mom, and one day my brother he comes over banging on my door. He got to go. He at work. He worked for the city. He got to go. I let him in my little house. He goes into the restroom. I continue doing my stay-at-home mom stuff, and all of a sudden, this intense tremor for YouTube. I'm gonna say a sonic boom, boom. But the boom went on for about say 5 minutes. It was all in what's the word? All inclusive, encumbered. I think is the word. The whole environment, the whole my whole environment, everything. It shook the house. It shook the house. Stop. Earlier, I talked about as I got ready to make this video, I was watching somebody doing a reaction video. And I was talking about how the lady said something was landing on their house and just like landing or running into, and the house was shaking. I heard somebody else talk about their house being shaken. So back to 1996. So my brother's in the restroom. I'm doing my stay at home mom stuff, and this boom. But when I say boom, like I say boom, take me a second to say it. This boom went on for 5 minutes. Like boom, like a big bubble cloud sound. Again, for YouTube, I see it's like a sonic boom, how we might imagine a sonic boom, and it creates a bubble, and inside that bubble just keep echoing. So I'm in my house like, what is that? Like, oh my God. I done told the story here too. I don't know where it is. I will have to go through my calendar. I done did so many videos, thousands. And so I go to run to the window to see what it is, and I heard something distinctly say, and this is my testimony. Don't you go look out that window. Lay on the floor. That's what I heard. And I backed up, laid on the floor, made my kids lay on the floor. And mind you, that boom is still around us and it's still booming. And the whole house feel like it's about to be taken. I thought in that moment, on that day, I had never thought about aliens before. I was not the same person being that I am now. That wasn't a thought. That aliens was pulling the house out or tearing up the the world or something. That scared me so bad. And I'm not a scary person. Uh and when the boom finally subsided, it stopped as quickly as it came. I jumped up. I ran to the bathroom and kicked the door in on my brother. And I was like, what was that? And so he's shocked. He is so shocked how to kick the door in on him. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Close the door, get in there. I was like, you gonna tell me you ain't hear that? He hadn't heard nothing. He hadn't felt anything. My heart still palpitating. I go call my mother, who stayed maybe a quarter a mile away from me. Guess where she was? Still on the floor. My mom heard it. And she said she went to go look out the window. And she distinctly heard, don't you look out that window, lay on the floor. And she said, that's what you did. My mama said, hold on. She called some of her girlfriends, we're West Siders, that lived on the East. Guess what? Well, we realized after we called everybody we knew, some people didn't even feel it, didn't even hear it, kept on going about their day. But there was equally as many people within a close proximity to each person we call that did feel it, that did have the experience, did hear it. And guess what? Every single person said they went to go see what it was, and they distinctly heard a voice saying, "Don't go look, don't you look out that window, lay on the floor." Now, how is that possible? That every single person that messed up the camera that heard it and felt that sensation as if it was going to pull the whole house out the ground was told, "Don't look out the window, lay on the floor." I'm just asking. I'm asking. What was strange is that there was equally as many people that were in the same household that didn't hear it and didn't feel it. Huh? That's interesting. There's been a few things in my life that have led me to believe that there are aliens or something, and they're right here with us. And it's just I'm the person. I'm ready. I am literally ready for them to come on. Land, mother suckers, land. Land, mother suckers, land. Okay. Um, Before I leave here, I wanted to see if I could. I don't know if I can, but I'm exploring to find out if I can at all. I don't know. How do I? This is me. Nope. Ooh, I wonder. It's a you home. Man, I wanted to try to find that video where it's not going to let me. It's not going to let me. Okay. I wanted to try to find that video where the orb came in the yard um, while I was sitting out there doing tarot readings years back. Uh, but I can't. Anywho, leave a comment below. Let me know, have you had any, have you saw any orbs or uh, unidentified spacecraft or anything? Have you felt any booms or sonic booms that feel like they shaking your house or anything like that? Ever, especially recently. Have you ever seen any uh, alien life forms or anything like that? Do you think that we may be on the verge of an alien invasion or are already in the midst of one and we humans just don't know it yet? Anywho, thank you for coming to Swanky Foil Hatter. You all have a lovely evening.